Happy New Year. So, every year, especially at the beginning of the year, everyone has a New Year's resolution. But I like to start a challenge and a call to action for every person that is watching my channel. And those that know that myself and my childhood friend are on a mission to try to provide a space or a hub of information and resources for the families that may need help. Of course, we don't have all the answers, but we're going to do all of our hard work to try to make those spaces and those resources available to anybody who asks. Now, the title of this is a dinner table. And I'll give you an example, and I'll then tell you about my call to action. The dinner table, growing up, especially if you're from a small town like where I'm from, a little small town in Texas, just north of Dallas, some outstanding people come from that little town, Denton, to be exact. But there's a place called Luby's, Wyatt's. These are places on Sunday that a lot of people went to eat. We sat down at the table, we talked. It was after church. And if it wasn't at Luby's or Grandy's or one of those restaurants, I'm not sure if they even still open, but if it were not at those places, then there was some kind of big meal or feast at the household. All the family members and loved ones would come eat, enjoy a plate. And they would talk and converse about things that, they were current or find ways to share information, to help each other. Now, what changed all that are things that became items of convenience, like the microwave, cell phone, video games. Now they pop food in the microwave, they grab their food, they're walking down the hallway chewing, they never said a prayer, never gave thanks, never gave gratitude, never spoke to anybody, went straight back to the game, playing and eating. And they play and eat till they go to sleep. They do. A lot of times that happens. Sit at the table, they're on a cell phone the whole time. They had the cell phone at the dinner table like this. With the cell phone, just going with the cell phone. Crazy. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to tell somebody how to raise their child. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell somebody how they should be married, who be married. That's not what my thing is. I've been married before. Not married now. For those who know me, no, I'm not. Been married, made mistakes, made some corrections, moving on. But the best thing that I had in my life and best responsibility I ever had was being a father. And my biological daughter and the daughter that I raised are very, very successful, highly successful. So I'm not perfect, but one thing I do know, that's how to be a father. I'm not a baby's daddy. No, I do know how to father. I take pride in that. So moving on, those items of convenience have slowed us down to a point where we don't communicate as well. Our children don't have the same communication skills. They don't. They're very sensitive, very apprehensive. But I'll tell you what, because of all the new jobs and education and opportunities that are available to us now that were not available before, now you cannot tell who's dangerous and who's not. You really cannot. There are no clear lines of good side of the neighborhood, bad side of the neighborhood. When I was growing up, as soon as your tires hit the track, things about to change. As soon as you hit, hey, you're somewhere else right now. And most people know, if you're not from there, turn around. So we knew that. Now, schools, churches, hallways, anywhere, subways, anywhere in the world, you can get it. Malls, anywhere in the world you can get it. They have access to all these different weapons, those kind of things, and they are just running amok. They are. So anyway, I don't get too far off my point. But can I give you another example? Tell you what, I am gonna get far off my point. Have you ever been to a mall and you hear these girls talking so loud, little young girls, teenage, some of them 20, 30, just loud. I mean loud, loud, loud. You go to a movie theater, they talking through the whole movie. Just blah, blah, blah. On the cell phone, answer phone calls, and if you say something to them, you got to fight them. There's going to be some problems, right? So I say that to say this. Whenever a safe space is made for a person to be heard, I believe they are less likely to seek attention outside the house. When you create the inside, make the inside stronger than the outside, you are now creating a safe space and building from the inside. That person now does not need gratification, satisfaction, attention, or confirmation from the outside. All that's superficial. All of it. But when you see that, now more likely than not, those are people that need attention. Those are people that do not have safe spaces to land. Those are most people that do not have a safe space to open up and talk about what's really on their mind, what's really going on. Now at the dinner table, you take the microwave away. At least one day a week, my call to action is asking everyone who hears this message to at least make one day a week where everyone in your household sits down, be grateful to each other, check the temperature of each other, talk to each other, check each other if you need to, and don't make it a point to get the last word and to always be right. You ever heard the term paralysis of analysis? Yeah. Some people are so excited about proving a point and getting the last word that they paralyze the whole thing by trying to overanalyze. The paralysis of analysis. They analyze things so deeply that it tears it up. And that's where a father is very, very important. Because sometimes being a father, having authority over the house, doesn't necessarily mean that you telling everybody what to do. It just means you're responsible for whatever goes on in that house. Good or bad, it's on you. So it's up to you to set the rules and boundaries of how that goes. It's up to you to set the temperature of the household. See, a little daughter, when she go outside, she don't feel like she needs that attention. For your son to stand and walk, stomp when he walks, and be a man, good or bad. Regardless of what a woman or a little girl treat to him, how she treats him, be a man all day. Right? These things are established at the table. At the table. If you watch any relationship shows, you hear all of them saying the same thing, asking the same question. What do you bring to the table? How about let's build a table together? How about that? How about let's build a table together? And if it's built on finances, how somebody looks, what they have accumulated around them, then hang on tight. It's going to be a rough ride. Because you can have the biggest house in the world, huge house, but inside it may not ever be a home. Okay? You can make as much money as you want, get all the degrees you want, but you can't guarantee your health. You cannot. You cannot. But health is attributed to mental health, physical health, what you have around you, what you're exposed to, your habits. All those things are important. Very, very important. And I'll tell you this. A good friend of mine that does a podcast with me periodically, and there'll be a few more that'll be coming. As you can see, not all wounds are visible. They're not. Sometimes people are wounded, but you can't see their scars. Okay? Sometimes they're wounded, you can't see their scars. So at this dinner table, this is where you search for those scars that are not visible. Sometimes daddy's not even talking, he's just watching. Knowing his little daughter's changing, knowing his son is changing, knowing his wife is tired. And the wife herself can watch him. If you don't have a husband or wife, then whoever's in the household, make it a point. At least one day a week. At least one day a week. Sit at the table. Talk to each other. Be gracious to each other. Create a safe space where you can be heard. Now, if you know my profession, what I've done the last 30 years, I'll tell you one thing that's a common trait in most domestic situations. More than one. One is somebody feels disrespected, but most of the time it stems from one party not being heard by the other, or one party believes they're not being heard by the other. Right? You see a little girl talk, and she's trying to get a point across, and when she feels like you're not listening to her, she gets louder and louder and louder. Clearly, she feels like she's not being heard. Truly. Young man, talking loud, dancing, class clown, acting a fool. It's the only place he can get attention. Feels like he's not being heard. But at that dinner table, you can create a space where they can exhaust all those desires of being, crotch poppers. See little girls out here, they out in public crotch popping, just crotch popping. Yeah, it's just a whole lot going on, right? Little boy trying to be tough, walking loud, got on every color you could think of. Got on his favorite everything today. 3 different Easter suits outside, ready to go. Either way, what they wear is not important. But what I'm saying is, it's very important to create a safe space for these children to be heard. They have to be heard. If not, they're going to make you hear them another way. Outside, in the street, in jail, bail bondsmen, children everywhere, kids everywhere. It gets bad. It gets really bad. And the children they father are already at a disadvantage. Because the biological father sometimes is a man baby. He's grown. He's a man baby. He can't even figure out how to be no man. Ain't nobody ever taught him. That's right. And a little girl that can't be heard, she becomes a snapdragon. You can't hear nothing at all. She bucks any symbol of authority. Anything. And anybody telling her what to do, she is a snapdragon. You hear me? Snapdragon. Can't tell her anything. You gotta get the last word, talk over top of you. Gotta prove she right all the time. Snapping, soon you get mad, she start fussing and yelling, talking loud. And as soon as she get outside, she crotch popping. Yeah. Yeah. Same thing with a little boy. Confidence is just crushed, emancipated his whole life. Now he can't make a decision. He can't talk. He can't make a decision without calling his mama. Every woman he date, he want her to be his mama. And he can't. She can't be your mama. Y'all having sex, ain't no way to be your mama. She can't. She can't be your mama. But they look for that same thing because they're over nurtured. But you can create that balance at the dinner table. At the dinner table. If I show you the statistics of our people and how it goes, and you see the single parent households that are raised a certain way, under certain circumstances, you look at the habits, you'll see there's a direct correlation to depression, anxiety, suicide. All those things go together. They all go together. They do. You'll see it. If you think I'm joking, you got any questions, send me a message. I'll show you the statistics. You can even Google some of that. Google what I'm asking you. Google single parent households, female, single female. Google again, father, single. Then Google again, mother, father. Right? Then go even further. The steward of the household during the custodial years, how it affects the child. During the child's custodial years, the custodial parent is so important to their mental well-being. We let money raise our kids. We let gifts raise our kids. Pretty clothes raise our kids. Sometimes every tax season raise our kids. But I promise you, the dinner table is a place of refuge. The dinner table is a place that is necessary. Necessary. A place where the child can be heard. A place where the wife can be heard. A place where the father can be heard. Someone has to maintain the stability inside that house. I don't care how many rooms you got in your house and how big it is and how many games you got and how many game rooms. Make it a point that one day out the week, that everybody sits down. No cell phones. No one over talking to each other. If one person has a problem, we gather to fix that. When one person has a problem, we don't start talking about our problems, talk over them and take the whole spotlight off of them, start talking about ourselves. Not being self-centered. Not getting the last word, not trying to prove a point. The whole objective is to be there for those who need you. Sometimes your family is right there. They need you all day, every day, and nobody hears them. Nobody hears them. So that's my challenge for 2025. I know it took me a long time to get to the point. But my call to action is one day a week, have dinner with the people in your household. Give them a safe space to talk at least one day a week. That's beneficial to you, your children, your wife if you got one, even your dog, your cat, whatever you got. We need to stop all this crotch popping out here with these little young girls. They're beautiful. There's some beautiful young girls out here that got all potential in the world, and they too busy crotch popping. I don't get it. Let's stop it now. Other thing, let's stop raising man babies. Stop raising man babies and Snapdragon. We don't need that. Snapdragon. Got to get the last word. Got to be right. Got to prove a point. Bucks authority. Man baby, same thing. We not, no more man babies, no more Snapdragon. The dinner table is where we're going to start. We're going to start there. And as time goes on throughout the year, we have some more ideas and get this thing together. All right? No Snapdragons, no man babies. Let's get it. Happy New Year.